Jai Guruji Maharaj, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. With folded hands and gratitude in my heart, I bow to the lotus feet of a beloved Guruji. With his divine grace and your permission, I would like to start the reading of Chapter 14, Blessing Ready for Divinity by Commander Uncle. How His Grace Makes Light of Karma. It is a truism with devotees that Guruji takes care of 90% of their karma. A meager 10% is left to handle, and we find even that hard to handle. Still, the Guru makes that karmic ride easy to bear. Say you are fated to eat a kilo of red chili. The punishment must be borne. If your Guru is with you, then he will add 1 spoon of chili to a dish of chili paneer, spicy cottage cheese, every day and have you eat with naan. Thus, the Guru makes your karma palatable. Devotees wonder why, as puppets in the hand of the divine, they accumulate karma. How is it that we become responsible for actions purportedly initiated, controlled, and executed by the divine? Saint Tulsidas also wrote as much in Ramcharitramanas. Hoi soi jo Ram rachi raka, ka kari tarak badaveen sakha. Translation: everything happens as per the will of Ram. There is nothing to be gained by deliberating on it. As usual, Guruji always simplified complex matters. In a late night chat with General Kapoor, Guruji asked him what he knew of various religions, and the general admitted to knowing very little because he was a military man. Guruji reassured him and then rapidly recited divine axioms from the major religions and asked him what he had understood. When the general could only shrug in helplessness, Guruji told him not to worry if he knew nothing because it did not matter. Guruji then summarized the essentials, that all religions are one and the same. God is one and all are His children. Thus, if we are able to do good for someone, we should go ahead and do it. It is okay and acceptable if we can't. Just make sure that we do not cause harm to anyone, that we do not become the reason for another's sorrow. We should not be responsible for anyone's tears, pain, or suffering. As long as a person helps others when possible and does no harm to anyone, then that's all one needs to know about religion. Of course, one should set apart time to connect with the Divine Creator to express gratitude for all the blessings received. There is no better discourse on karma than that of the Gita. The Gita is the story of two brotherly clans, the 5 Pandavas and their 100 cousins, the Kauravas, led by Duryodhana, fighting for the kingdom. It is seen as a battle between the good and the evil. Lord Krishna stands on the side of good with the Pandavas. His army is with the Kauravas. At the commencement of the battle, Arjuna refuses to fight. This episode that sets up the discourse of the Gita is known as the Vishada Yoga of Arjuna. When Arjuna sees his cousins ranked against him on the field of battle, he is dismayed and objects that those he is fighting against are his family. He turns to Krishna, who has taken up the key role of his charioteer, and says he doesn't want to kill his brothers, uncles, grandfathers, and teachers. He won't wage war against those to whom he has ties by blood. So saying, Arjuna sits disconsolately in the chariot, keeping aside his famous bow, the Gandiva. Krishna, who is also Arjuna's guru, has to prepare a reluctant disciple to go to war. And this war is not just Arjuna's alone. This is a struggle of our own lives too. Krishna has several strategic replies ready. First, he tells Arjuna that this war is his to fight because as a prince of the royal line, a Kshatriya, a warrior, it is his duty to fight. Second, Adharma requires a retort. His kingdom has been wrongfully usurped and despite efforts at reconciliation denied to his brothers. Third, the Kauravas here aggressively challenged them, and as a warrior par excellence of the Pandavas, he has to take up arms. The joys of heaven await the warrior whether he fights from the losing side or the winning. Arjuna counters by saying that he does not want the rewards of doing his duty. He doesn't want heaven, nor does he want the kingdom. He doesn't want to have the blood of his own kin on his hands. That is his justification. Krishna tells Arjuna that he only appears to have a choice. In reality, he doesn't. The divine has already drawn the entire shape of the scenario. The battle will happen. Arjuna will fight. All that remains for Arjuna is to choose why he wants to fight and the state of mind he enters the battle with. If he thinks he will be fighting his relatives and will incur sin and bad karma for killing them, then, says Krishna, he will indeed be killing his relatives and will accumulate sin. If he thinks he will be doing his duty, the duty of a Kshatriya, to protect his people and his kingdom from an unjust leadership or an incursion, then he will be doing his duty and be rewarded appropriately for fulfilling his duty. Krishna then shows him yet another angle of approach. Arjuna can accept this battle as the divine will. Then all he will be doing is obeying the orders of the divine. He will not be fighting for good, for vanquishing evil, or for performing his righteous duty. He will just be submitting himself to the will of the divine as represented in the words, the hukum of the Lord. The beauty is that in such obedience, Arjuna will not be fighting for rewards. So, he would escape the noose of karma, which becomes binding only when one is entangled in its supposed fruits. Krishna then shows him that the war Arjuna is thinking of not participating in has already happened. Not only does the disciple have no choice, but he has already participated in it. With this vision that the Lord's grace gives him, Arjuna comes to terms with what is his destiny. What he was expected to do had already happened as far as the divine was concerned. Arjuna was neither the killer nor the defender. Both the killers and the killed were two sides of the same coin of divine Leela. In each individual warrior, it was the divine that had fought, lost, and won. Arjuna thus realized that he was not the doer. The divine within was the agency of all action. For Arjuna, it was Krishna all the way, just as for us, it should be Guruji all the way. We have nothing to do with karma. It does not even touch our hands, provided we realize that the Guruji is working through us. We are not the doers, Guruji is. Basically, we accumulate karma, good or bad, not because of what we do, but because of our identification with what we do and the intention with which we perform our actions. An apparently excellent cause with an evil motive cannot lead to good karma. The burden of karma is subtle to determine, but interest in doership can and will give you the burden of karma. Suppose there is a saint who is sworn to telling the truth. He is meditating in the forest when an animal walks past him. Minutes later, a hunter goes past asking if his prey had crossed by. The saint now has the choice of telling the truth and condemning the animal to death or lying to save a life. The intention is most important. If the saint wanted to save a life, then telling a lie would not matter. His telling the truth would have made him responsible for the killing of an innocent animal. Do you think in that situation, being truthful would have added to his account of virtues? Karma is like the clothes we wear, while our body represents the soul. The quality of the clothes identifies us as a person for everybody else. If I wear nice clothes, I am identified as a nice person. If I wear dirty clothes, I am not identified as a nice person. If I wear body-hugging clothes, they feel like an integral part of my body. I will be identified with them closely and they will become an extended part of my body. If I wear them loosely, then this problem does not arise because I will feel detached from my clothes. Whenever I want, I can remove my dress and put it away. So the key is to wear our karma like loose clothes. We are wearing them, yet we are not carrying them with us. They are not an extension of our body. That feeling comes when we stop identifying ourselves with what we do as compared to what we feel inside. We will only start feeling more when our Guruji will reside inside us. That will happen when we cede control to him. We will still go about doing our karma, still carrying our karma like wearing loose clothes, because that is every human being's lot, but we will not be defined by our karma. We will be defined by our Guru. That is why the Lord said that we should give up everything before coming to him. Have you wondered how surrender can happen? We start by disowning our karma, simply saying, I'm not the one who does these things, it's my Guruji who makes me do them. The moment we take away our authority on what we do, we stop doing it. From we doing it to it happening to us is a very subtle line that divides the two, and that line is sketched by what you think. If we think ourselves as doers, then these are our karma. Then we will be held accountable for them. If we think we are doing a duty and we do it well, we get a reward. But if we think we do nothing because all that is being done is being controlled by Guruji, then we actually do nothing at all. We will not be held accountable for what happens through ourselves. The same action can lead to punishment or reward depending on how you associate yourself with it. A doctor conducts surgery on a patient and in the process the patient dies. But you cannot accuse a doctor of killing that person, can you? He was trying to save the patient's life, but he couldn't. If the same doctor knew that he was not good enough to treat his patient and still decided to undertake the surgery with the knowledge of his limitations, he would be held accountable. So, the same karma can have different attributes and lead to different results. In our case, we can simply leave all of this doership, intentions, thoughts and the action itself to Guruji so that all our karmas become an offering to him. Be my actions good, bad or ugly, I don't care. My Guru is the boss. I don't know what he makes me do because I do nothing. Whatever I do is because of what my Guruji makes me do. That thought is surrender. Read again what Lord Krishna said to Arjun. Give up everything and come to me. We too should give up all other supports and reach out for Guru's support only. As the Shabad beautifully puts it, Ek takya bharosa tere charnan da, hor sabe dhaiyan dheriyan. I've let go of all other supports. In fact, Guruji is my only support. All the rest are at best time-bound and illusory. Surrender means that I have done all I could do and now I have taken refuge at Guruji's lotus feet. I have done away with every other support in my life. I have come to Guruji with no backup. I have no one else to go to. Now my Guru knows that if he doesn't take care of me, then I am done. For me, there is no alternative to Guruji. I go where my Guruji takes me. I am where my Guruji is at any given time, and Guruji is my destiny. We all are like the bogies in a train. They are tied behind the engine and they go wherever the engine takes them. Bogies don't have the luxury to choose where to go. They can choose the engine. Of course, if they get hooked to the wrong engine, they would reach the wrong destination. Briefly, what is important is our intention. What happens in our life is controlled by a supreme power. That divine in us does what he does. If we think we are doing it, then we are doing it and we will either pay for it or be rewarded for it. If we think we are simply obeying a divine order, then we will have nothing to do whatsoever with actions and their consequences. It is as simple as that. That is why inner purity is important. No matter what we do it with a clean heart. Guruji emphasized this when he quoted the ancient maxim which says, Man changa to nalke mein Ganga. If your heart is pure, then even tap water becomes as pure as the water from the sacred Ganga. Don't associate yourself with your actions. Offer each action to the Lord or Guru every time saying, as you wish, let your will prevail. Lord Krishna has outlined a simple tactic by which we can do away with the consequences of karma. But what about karma which has already been committed? This world of ours and our destiny or prarabdha is a byproduct of karma. A simple couplet from Ramcharitmanas of Saint Tulsidas puts it brilliantly. Karma pradhan vishwa rachi rakha, jo jahi karehi so tas phal chakha. As we sow, so shall we reap. The seeds we put in the land will grow into fruits. We cannot plant a cactus and expect mangoes. As the Manas hints, this earthly world is where our karmas come due and have to be settled. Our accounts get settled in the physical world because actions take place in a physical setting. After our dues are settled here, we progress quickly in the spiritual world. In the military, each promotion must precede a tough and demanding tenure on the battlefield, face to face with the enemy. Our excellent performance in peace postings will matter little if the front line tenure ends up in a fiasco. Our performance matters the most when own life as well as the life of those we command is at grave risk. This earthly existence of ours is akin to a posting on the front line. Our motivation in coming here is to settle our accounts as much as we can, do better, improve, get closer to a chosen Isht or Guru. We have volunteered to come down here to make things right, not to repeat mistakes and then promise to return once our karmas are accounted for and settled. Our performance in this physical plane will decide if we get a promotion or demotion in the spiritual world, a peace posting, so to say. On our own, it is a near impossible task with the great risk of ending up worse off than before. One comes to settle karmas but ends up accumulating more. The lucky ones are those who are taken into refuge by a guru who is capable of taking on their karmas. He helps his devotee navigate the minefield in the war zone, all the while holding his hand. He first makes his devotee blessings ready by settling his earthly accounts and then blesses him. This process of becoming blessings ready will include enduring some pain and suffering under Guruji's guidance and watchful protection. The extent of the suffering, of course, depends on the devotee's karmic backlog. On that account, even the best of the best are on a bit of a sticky wicket. Each one of us volunteers to this field posting for a single purpose, to get rid of the karmic load. But once one is born in this world, one forgets all the promises made to the Lord. There's a Shabad that Guruji made us listen to at Empire Estate many times. The essence of it was that you have forgotten all the tall promises you made to the Lord or the Guru. While in the womb, you promised you were going to take his name, sing his praises, purify yourself, and do all the right things. And look at you now. You are in a mess. You have forgotten all that. Thankfully, we have Guruji. He will not let us make mistakes. If he sends us out on field posting, he will make sure we don't do silly things. This is exactly what Sri Krishna told Arjuna when the disciple asked him, Lord, what happens to your disciples, your devotees, when they deviate from the right path and make mistakes? Do they fall out of grace? What do you do with them? Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that he does not let his devotees fall from grace. A true Guru is ready to pay back for the disciple's karma from his own account. When Guruji suffers for us, he is paying from his own account for everything that we have done because we are bankrupt. He settles our account. It's like having a line of credit from a Guru's account to our account. No matter how much is spent, it will be replenished as long as we are a devotee in a state of surrender to the Guru. Having said that, we also need to take responsibility for our subsequent deeds. Guruji takes so much on himself because he cannot bear to see us suffering. Our Guruji is the Supreme Lord, the Divine Light, and he holds a hand through thick and thin. He will ensure that a karmic account is settled as per his plan and not in accordance with our efforts. All we need to do is to hand over control to him. How do we settle a karmic account? Good karma is like money deposited in a bank account, while bad karma is like a debt. Imagine that every time we do something good, our deposit goes up, and every time we make a mistake, we spend the money we have. We may end up spending so much money that there is not only zero balance in the account, but we actually owe the bank. That is where the problem arises. It has to be paid back. The account has to be settled. The settlement of karmic debt is chiefly done through suffering. Even people come in our life to settle their own karmic dues as much as we enter their lives to settle ours. Only the Guru enters our lives to settle our karmic account, not his. He enters our lives to make us blessings ready for spirituality. Another way of cancelling karmic debt is by creating a huge positive balance through selfless seva. For example, if we serve the elderly and lessen their sufferings, we will receive their blessings. Their suffering has given them the capacity to bless us. Similarly, a suffering poor can bless us too. Ability to bless stays only with those who endure sufferings. A mother's blessings are more valuable because her suffering is usually more than that of a father. That is why mothers are held in great reverence in our lives. In a way, being a woman itself involves so much suffering. A woman in a life, when loved, respected, and cared for, has a unique ability to make us blessings ready. One of the simplest ways to accumulate good karma and pay off our bad karma is to respect, love, and take care of women in our lives, be it our mother, our wife, our sister, our daughter, our neighbor, or women in our sangat. Guruji used to say that he blessed aunties first because a lady devotee always thinks of her entire family. Male devotees think of themselves first. A father thinks that if he is blessed, he can take care of the family. A mother believes her children, her husband, her parents, and in-laws should be blessed first, that her suffering is secondary. Since we have come to life already with so much karmic debt, it is important to not add more to it by asking Guruji to meet our demands. If we do not ask Guruji for anything, then we don't need to account for anything that we may receive as blessings. Guruji will fulfill a need or beneficial desire through his blessings even if we don't ask for it. If we seek a reward even for our good karma or seva, the fruit will be limited and perishable. A blessing is permanent. A Shabad Guruji made us listen to explains this point. A pious person did tapasya or penance for 100 years. The divine was happy and spoke to the tapasvi, offering a boon. The tapasvi straightway demanded a reward for his 100-year penance. The divine counseled him to think again. Do you want a reward for your penance or do you want my blessings? The deluded tapasvi insisted on the reward. The divine was about to grant it when the stone on which the ascetic had been sitting all this while acquired a human form and spoke up. It demanded that the tapasvi first settle its dues for letting him sit on itself for 100 years. Remember, every fruit we earn is not solely due to our efforts. There are many individuals and conditions that play their parts to make it happen. The tapasvi quickly realized his folly and settled for the divine blessings. Because if he had to settle all the accounts he owed out of his penance, there would be little left for him. As a disciple, we have to let Guruji handle all our matters. For that, we have to give up self-interested action and not ask the Guru. If the Guru is happy, he will simply give us his blessing, and that energy will manifest as whatever we may need. Therefore, all we have to do is to be with the Guru. Let the divine in us connect to the Guru and let it be. During my formative years, I received most of my spiritual understanding from my own namesake uncle, Sri Rajkumar Sharma Ji. A highly evolved and awakened soul, he was my father's age, and we shared an informal Guru-Shishya connection. Whenever I was back home on vacation, we would be together for hours discussing the great lore of spirituality as passed down by our sages. This association lasted for over 2 decades and formed the backbone of my limited experience with the divine. One day he shared his complete learning of the divine in one sentence. He told me that after a lifetime going through the scriptures, sitting with spiritual gurus and meditating, he finally understood one thing. There was no need to go through this process in the first place because there was really nothing to understand. He had to finally surrender to the divine, something he could have done a long time ago right at the beginning. His only advice to me was to stop running around seeking knowledge and understanding of the divine. There was nothing to understand but everything to experience. Just surrender to the Supreme and let Him take care of everything. It will happen when it has to happen. And he was so right. The divine happened to me when I was called by Guruji Maharaj to his divine presence on February 18, 2001. With that, my mind's quest for knowledge ended and my soul's experience with the divine began. Guruji advised his devotees to hand over the reins of their horse to him and he would always guide it straight. The horse is our intellect, our mind, the vehicle of our body. If we give this control to Guruji, we will think straight act straight, and will not accumulate any negative karma. As a result, we would become blessings ready and qualified to board his ship, traveling out of samsara to reach him. In a short invocatory verse, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad gives voice to the devotee's aspiration for this journey. Asto ma sadgamya, tamso ma jyotirgamya, mrityur ma amritma gamya. Take us from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, and from the bondage of mortality to eternal freedom. That is devotion. Devotion takes us from ignorance, agyan, to knowledge, gyan, and from separation from Guruji, a state of duality, to merger with Guruji, the singularity, whence we become a part of him. Karma controls one's position in this endless cycle of life, birth and rebirth, hell and heaven. A surrender to the Guru pulls devotee out of this cycle and accords him a permanent place at the Guru's lotus feet in perpetuity. May we all be with Guruji Maharaj always. He will never let go of us. Have trust and let him drive our chariot, and we will be just fine. With this, I would like to conclude today's chapter from the divine book Blessing Ready for Divinity by Commander Uncle. First and foremost, I would like to seek forgiveness from our beloved Guruji Maharaj for mistakes in the narration of this divine chapter, Divine Satsang. I would also like to seek forgiveness from each and every one of you for the same, and would like to invite you to the reading of next divine chapter from the divine book Blessing Ready for Divinity. Thank you, Guruji, for everything. Thank you each and every one of you.